Red lights indeed are on. Out they go, and the race gets underway. For some better than others, the Dyson is very slow away of Greg Catton. He's going to be almost at the back of the field by the time he gets going. So it is going to be Richard Verheyden that's going to sweep around the outside into the lead of the race then. He makes the best of the starts. I think it looks like it's Sage in second position then, as they're making their way around Gerrard's Bend for the first time. So it's a Class C car leading, Class D car in second place. Third at the moment is the number 13 car of Ben Bolt, the Centaur Mark 16, and he's got one of the quick Austin 7s coming up behind him. That's the number 88 car of Richard Carter. He's in Class B, which means he's in the supercharged class.
Yeah, that's right. So John Donnelly between he and Bolt. Bolt was on the podium at Croft. That was Greg Catton on the grass, heading down towards the Shaw's hairpin. They may not be the biggest of cars, but obviously Greg didn't quite have as much space as he was hoping for as he tries to regain positions after that stall at the start. He's currently behind the Jeffrey, driven by Mike Henney. There's a lot of that dust on the circuit, isn't there, through the elbow, but across the line then to complete the first lap of 15 minutes. And for Hayden, who's got a nice gap of a second and a half over Tim Sage.
Catton had got back to 8th by the end of the first lap, so he'd made some good progress through the order. I think he's now in 7th position because he's ahead now, yes, of the number 40 car of Mike Henney in the Jeffrey. Meanwhile, here comes Richard Carter up the inside of Ben Bolt for 3rd position into Lake S's. Look at the vibrations on the front of that car, but he somehow nevertheless gets it through into the S's, up into P3 overall.
That was an extraordinary shot, wasn't it, of that Austin 7. Richard Carter really pushing on in that 1930 car. So that's 95 years old, isn't it, that Austin 7. Richard Carter, the former Formula Ford racer, driving it really well indeed. So Greg Catton's got past Mike Henney, but hasn't made any further progress. So he's not coming through the field perhaps as quickly as you'd expect. The lap times are off of the qualifying pace, and Carter is lapping as quick as the top two. So that's pretty extraordinary in dry conditions to have a supercharged 7 lapping as quick as the 750 Formula cars. So it's Verheyden, Sage and Carter the top 3. Ben Bolt, the Croft podium finisher, is 4th, and then John Donnelly is there in 5th. He's going well. Greg Catton now back to 6th. One car that didn't make the start was Gary Brandon, I'm afraid. One of a couple or 3 that didn't make the start. But John Moss did there from the back, and he's already 2nd in Class A, but he's about 9 seconds behind Charlie Plain-Jones. 19 cars have made the start of this race. We're working lap 3. You can see Richard Carter in 3rd place, pulling away now from Ben Bolt in 4th position, and John Donnelly in 5th. Greg Catton now has caught this battle as well. He's lapping a little bit, about a second faster than the cars ahead of him at the moment, so he's got power to add here. Might well get up to 4th position over the next lap or so, but then he's got to try and catch, well, firstly Richard Carter in 3rd place, then the top 2 already turning their way into Gerrard's Bend. Right, here comes Catton. He's on the inside of Donnelly, and he gets through to 5th place then. Donnelly very cooperative there as Catton in that number 31 Dyson for the man from Bury St Edmunds. Child Quantity Surveyor has gone through. Now he's going to try and get past Ben Bolt in the Centaur. A long time racer, 80 years of age now, Ben, from Bishop's Itchington. Been racing since 1961 and has lost the place there to Greg Catton. And a class winner of the Burkitt Relay 61 years ago, Ben Bolt. So great stuff to have him out there, even if he's lost that position. Catton's caught Carter now for 3rd. The lead gap coming down as well, by the way. Tim Sage has got under a minute and is catching Verheyden, but the change for 3rd should happen pretty soon between Richard Carter. It bounces up a gear, doesn't it, out of the hairpin, the Austin 7. The leaders are nose to tail as they go through turn 1 through Gerrard's corner, as the battle for 3rd changes a similar place really on the lap.
Yep, so up towards...
Or maybe it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Oh, no, he's having another bite of the cherry. Probably that car is quick in a straight line, the Austin 7, but I think through the corners the Dyson is probably going to handle a bit better, so it proves that, because look how silky that is in comparison through Gerrard's Bend. So Dyson able to put quite a bit of daylight between himself and Richard Carter there, as we've got a car off. Is that the 40 car possibly that has gone off? Trying to figure out where exactly that is. But there is the Dyson of Greg Catton, And he is how far behind? It's about 9 seconds behind the two race leaders, so catching them, I guess, might be a bit of a tall order.
The gap for the lead has gone out on this lap, but it's at Shaw's, the hairpin, the car that's pulled off. Here's the yellow flags. But in traffic now, the top two. But Verheiden, the Frenchman, leads the way by a second. A much slower lap from the pair, actually. 1 minute freeze for some reason. But they do the first bit of lappery. Now it was the Jomo that was off, I think, wasn't it? So that first outing for Ian Elliott's come to an early end. The car that's been lapped is the Tompkins Special of Matt Tompkins.
Okay, so there's the Lotus of David Rose, number 3. He's running in 13th position. Behind him now is the Class A leader, Charlie Plain Jones. Charlie Plain Jones having lost a position to Rose on this lap. But Plain Jones in that number 22 Austin 7, that's the non-supercharged class that he is leading, Class A. Second in that class is John Moss, of course, who started from the back of the grid. As we're watching here, who's this? John Donnelly now trying to make a move on Richard Carter for 4th position. This will be. He's already got past Ben Bolt by the looks of it on this lap. Now Donnelly all of a sudden taking the fight to Richard Carter in that Austin 7, who chucks the car into the hairpin. And is Donny going to be able to get him on the exit of the corner? I think this camera angle was a bit deceptive. It looked like he was alongside, but he was still quite a few car lengths behind. We've got 8.5 minutes of this race left to go.
John Donnelly has had a 4th this season. Was that Croft perhaps when the grid was a little low, but it seems like this is one of John's better runs. Battling for 4th position again today with Richard Carter and Ben Bolt. 3 car back behind between Christopher Jones in the left-hand drive DNC, Mike Henney in the Jeffrey and the Whippet of Paul Mason. Here they are through Gerard now. The battle for 7th position, led by Chris Jones in that 1976 Reliant engine car that was built by Mike Watley, and a car that won the championship back in 1998. Now, Tim Sage was catching Richard Verheiden for a couple of laps, and then his pace has dropped away a little bit, and it didn't look like he was in sight of the race kit, so the gap continues to go out between the top two while those battles continue further behind. Yeah,
Verheiden could be the first driver to win 3 races this season, couldn't he? Watching this fight for 7th and 8th go through, they're just lapping as well. The 17 Matt Tompkins, Austin 7 as well for the 31-year-old classic motorsport journalist from motoring journalist from Grantham. It is the 41 car ahead in that battle. Christopher Jones, though, the more experienced driver, I think, of these two. Ahead of Martin Henney in the number 40. Jeffries and the DNC ahead of the Jeffrey just behind them, as we've mentioned a little bit before. Mason, very low slung number 67 car that's just heading through Gerard's Bend now. It's a very interesting looking contraption. Here's a battle amongst the Austin 7s. Well, you've got the Richard Carter car just coming past some slower versions there. It's the 66 car that we could just see coming through shot there. That's James Ricketts, who's taken on Nick Hayward-Cook's drive for today.
He's battling away with James Miles for 15th position. James from West Sussex in the 1936 Monoposto. He is number 11, just lapped by Donnelly and then Bolt as well. So that's a good battle between a supercharged car and a non-supercharged car behind. But found themselves together on the circuit. So Tim Sage has done those 2 or 3 slow laps in the 1 minute freeze, and then suddenly does a 59.503, the fastest lap of the race. So don't quite understand that, but Tim Sage is bringing the gap for the lead back down. 3.2 seconds. There's still 6 minutes of the race to go, so it's still time for Tim Sage to close in on the leader.
Certainly is. 3.2 seconds the gap. On that lap, it was 1.4 seconds quicker. It was nearly 3 seconds faster than Greg Catton, who's in 3rd place, now 12 seconds adrift of the race leader. We're watching Ben Bolt here cutting through the traffic. He's behind John Donnelly now, and he's got about 5 seconds or so in hand to Christopher Jones. As that trio, John Donnelly and Ben Bolt, head up the hill. Oh, that's quite close with one of the back-marking Austin 7s.
That's Peter Marsh, was it, who's struggling a little bit today, because Peter's gone well in the Super Snort previously. He was a class winner, it feels like. Yes, at Alton Park and at Cadbury Park and at Brands Hatch. Peter Marsh came top in Class B. But that car was running very slowly, so I don't know if that's going to last too much longer in the race. Yes, it's crawling past our commentary position now.
Yeah.
But that's one way to get a better handicap, isn't it? But I'm not quite sure that's the plan. Tim Sage just another slow lap of 1 minute 5 now. So it is the Mallory in some kind of intermittent problems here. We can see it on the screen now, Ian.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? That's sort of a 6-second difference to the last lap time. So unless it's had a moment that we've not spotted, then yeah, possibly there is an intermittent issue. We'll soon get an idea of what his next lap time is, because he's coming through Devil's Elbow now onto the Kirkby Straight, about to come over the timing line to complete another lap. That lap is a 59 again, only 19 thousandths slower than the one he did 2 laps ago. So either there's an intermittent one or the previous lap he did have a bit of a mistake or something, but he's now just over 6 seconds behind the race leader. As we're going to get a change here for 7th place? It looked like we might do, between Christopher Jones and Mike Henney for just a moment. Having another look at that scrap now as they head through Devil's Elbow. This battle between the DNC and the Jeffrey left-hand drive DNC, interestingly. That car comes across the line, those two separated by just about a second in between them, actually, as they went over the line at that time. Here's the race leader, though, Richard Verheyen, whose gap was 6 seconds at the beginning of this lap. Who knows what it will be at the end of it, with the very unpredictable lap times that Tim Sage is pulling in.
Yeah, that's right. The Cooper's about to be lapped now, which is running in 16th position of Douglas McClay. It stayed about 6 seconds, bizarrely. 6.2 seconds the gap between Verheyen and Sage. There's the Lotus, driven by David Rose. It's running in 11th position. Peter Marsh is going on, isn't he, in the Super Snort Austin, the 1936 car, but does a lap time of 1 minute 54, which you kind of wonder whether that's the ideal idea, to be staying out on track at that kind of pace.
Yeah, cluing up to what that car is capable of. That beautiful Lotus just making its way through Gerrard's Bend. David Rose now into 11th position. He heads down the Stebby Straight and towards Lake Esses. We're going past that slower car of Tompkins, I think it was that time. It's going past. Yeah. And into Lake Esses, swooping right and then left, and then climbing up that steep hill. And the circuit does narrow where the oak tree used to be, but is no longer. They could probably straighten that out a little bit if they wanted, but the track does narrow a little bit on the way up to Shaw's Corner.
Catton's done a 59 as well now, so all the top three are in the high 59s. Good battle for a 4th position, because Richard Carter's been caught by John Donnelly and Ben Bolt. They're all about to lap David Rose, but 3-car battle over the last 2 to 3 laps that we've got. The Austin has got a bit more straight line performance with the supercharged engine. Its overall lap time has been a fraction quicker than these two over the course of this race. They're about half a minute behind Verheyen, so that's the kind of idea how much progress the quick drivers are going to have to make. And there are going to be 1 or 2 laps of credits, aren't there, in the handicap race for some of the Austins come later on today.
That's right. So we've got 1 minute and 3/4 of this race left to go. And
John Elsey.
Yeah, John Elsey there, taking photographs. 750 Motor Club resident photographer. Look out for his photographs on the website and on social media as well. Always tremendous viewing. There is a battle for 4th position on track. So Richard Carter now only just ahead of John Donnelly. They lapped in very similar lap times on the last lap. Tim Sage just the best lap of the race, 59.372 now. He has gone to get his 7.6 seconds, but it's a close battle actually, 3-way, isn't it? With Carter, Donnelly and Bolt all separated by only about 1.5 seconds there.
Yeah, Richard Carter drives that single seat, so very spectacularly. Looks like a mini Grand Prix car pre-war, doesn't it? Like a small ERA or something like that. And Richard drives it really well. We've had some pretty visual evidence of sort of the movement in the suspension of a car that is over 90 years old. Behind Ben Bolt, down the inside of John Donnelly for 2nd in Class C. Runs a little wide, does Bolt. Suddenly Tim Sage is on a 58.0. That's 1.5 seconds quicker than he's gone previously. That's way quicker than qualifying 2, I think. And not as quick as his own lap record, although the car might be running quite a different specification now. That is the most bizarre race, isn't it, that Tim Sage is having?
It is.
It's with a complete fluctuation in the lap time. For 10 seconds on the clock, these drivers are going on to their final lap.
Yeah, they are. So last lap of the race, this battle going on to its last lap, already sort of halfway round the lap, I think, is, if not more than that, is Richard Verheyden. He's going to be heading into the final corner very soon. Still watching this battle, though, for 4th position. 3 quite different cars involved there, with Richard Carter still at the head of that group in that supercharged Austin 7. Meanwhile, the checkered flag is now about to go out, and it does so out of our commentary box window. I can see, so Richard Verheyden it is that takes the checkered flag to win the race. So congratulations to him, a comfortable win from Tim Sage in the end, but not as comfortable as we thought it was going to be.
The gap was more than halved on the last lap to 2.7 seconds.
Let's see if we can pick up this battle again, though, for 4th. Greg Catton's over the line in 3rd place. 4th place still under doubt. The lapping, I think that's James Miles, isn't it, that they're going past on the way up to Shaw's corner. They all managed to clear him into the hairpin. So I suspect the order is going to stay the same as it has been as they come down to Food Devil's elbow. It is going to be Richard Carter that will take 4th and win Class B. Ben Bolt 5th and 2nd in Class C, and John Donnelly 6th and 3rd in Class C. But an entertaining race that, Josh, for the historic 750 Formula cars.
Yeah, and some battles on the circuit which should resume in the handicap race, because they should be on the same handicap, shouldn't they? So they should have another race-long battle over whatever duration we're going to get for the handicap. But well, it was nice to see a checkered flag, wasn't it?
It was. We've not seen one of those yet today, have we? 18 of the cars made it to the checkered flag, I think. The 47 car was the one that didn't, which was the Ian Elliott Jomo. And I'm seeing also, maybe there's one that the 7 car also needed to push back. That
might be 47, I think.
Yeah, 47, I think, probably needed to push back. That's right, just looking at our screen. So, we'll get... Sorry, Josh?
The other good battle for 7th, 3 cars separated by 8/10 at the flag, which was led by the DNC of Chris Jones. There were 2 or 3 real good battles in the pack. Charlie Plain Jones won Class A again. He was 20 seconds ahead of John Moss by the checkered flag.
Let's see if we can have a quick look at the results from that race, because it will be heading very quickly down to the paddock, and Kieran Mogg hopefully to grab a word with some of our successful drivers.
I don't think we're able to look at the results. Just quickly go through them. Richard Verheyden, the winner. 2nd was Tim Sage. 3rd was Greg Catton. 4th, Richard Carter. 5th, Ben Bolt. 6th, John Donnelly. And the class winners, Tim Sage in Class D. Class 6, Verheyden. Class B was Richard Carter, and Class A was Charlie Plain Jones.
Yeah, indeed. So those the results from the first historic 750 Formula race. The next race for them will be the handicap race, and very shortly we'll have cars out on track for the VSG Crypto Clio Sport Championship. First of 2 races today for their final 2 rounds of the season. But we can head now down to Parc Ferme, and we'll hear from Kim and Mark.
Thank you very much. Yes, as you can see, we've got the class winners here, and we're going to have a quick chat firstly with Richard Verheyden. If I could just jump in a second. Well, not quite dominant, but pretty decent.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, was it? During the qualifying, I had a misfire coming out of the hairpin. I'd love to say I knew what cured it, but something cured it. Went like a rocket. Absolutely brilliant. Had a bit of Tim in my rear view mirrors for the beginning first few laps, and then he just disappeared. I don't know, maybe I got faster, maybe he got slower. Let's see. Race 2 is going to be a fun one. We've got a handicap race, so that's going to be very exciting.
I mean, that one was quite exciting, especially just for us as viewers anyway. So with later on trying to go through the traffic, obviously you've had a bit of a taste of that in that last race. How was it?
Well, seeing the same drivers 3 times is new for me. Well, outside of the paddock. Yeah, that felt very fast. I'm really looking forward to the next race. I love a good handicap race.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the win.
All right, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks. Let's have a quick chat with Tim. Tim, let's talk about halfway through the race, you dropped back, was it 6 seconds a lap or something? What happened there?
I think there was back markers. I can't remember exactly, but all I know is Richard went off like a rabbit, and normally, you know, I sort of keep up with him and catch him, but he's on it today. He's brilliantly driven. It's fantastic. Yeah, I was going as fast as I could.
And for the race later on today, what can we expect?
Handicap races, I'm easily confused. anyway, and a handicap race confuses me. I treat it like a practice session really, and just see what more I can get on each corner. So, no, I wouldn't expect any results from me from the handicap race, but you never know. You never know.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Have a quick chat now with Richard. Richard, very, very quickly, because the cars are out on track. Obviously, you've received a lot of praise about that car, being very, very quick, only 2 seconds off these boys.
That was amazing. I mean, seeing as it's on drum brakes and old suspension, and me being older, no, I'm delighted with that. The cars perform well. It's brilliant.
And expected same later on as well?
Can handicap race, so it's down to skills at overtaking. I'm not pushing it.
Look forward to seeing it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you. Now, the Clios are out onto the track. So coming up next, we have the Clios.